Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and with the first major order of the Illuminate attack, we have seen their vanguard. That is right, there are only 4 units we've really seen, and today we're going to talk about the other ones that are coming in the very near future, but also brand new mission types that are on their way to go ahead and give us a bit more of a challenge as we get ready for more major orders. We're going to go over all of that, but without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So Helldivers 2 has been really fun the last few days. The Illuminate have finally arrived, and with it, it has been absolute chaos, and major orders are going out, and we have to stop the Illuminate at all costs. That being said, this is really only their vanguard fleet, as we only have 4 different enemy types, yet in the files, there are a plethora of different types, such as Observer, and we'll go over that in a little bit, but along with that, there are going to be brand new mission types coming to the game. One of the big one is Iron Sights actually let us know about this Illuminate ship encounter. This will likely be part of a large objective, and given its size, it might actually be a large-scale event, which is pretty interesting to say the least. That being said, there is also a ton of other stuff that we can be expecting with the Illuminate, and well, it looks pretty promising if you're looking for some variety in Helldivers 2. There's going to be a special intel objective on the map. There's going to be the objective to collect intel at crashed Super Earth drone sites, which will come back into play in a minute when we talk about Super Earth. There will be sites marked with a red flare that is visible from across the map, and our goal is to carry this intel with you to extraction. Upon successful extraction of intel, you will unlock special opportunity missions, so a mission within a mission basically, and opportunity missions will likely have unique objectives and may take place behind enemy lines. Now, thankfully, Asunder actually went ahead and showed us some coding actually in the game files. It lets us know that intel packages are worth 500 requisition if they're extracted from a mission. The location of the intel is indicated on our mini-map. There will also be compromised intel packages that will notify the enemy of our whereabouts and cause an encounter. There will be retrieving intel triggers and enemy response, and we will be able to get special rewards, and this will all be tied to an intel PDA, which is currently unused in our hips on the game right now. You can actually run around and see it sometimes. Now, that being said, Iron Sights did let us know of some other mission objectives that are coming in the very near future, and this one actually revolves around, well, the Illuminate. He let us know that there are going to be Illuminate ritual objectives, and our goal is to locate and stop all Illuminate rituals. At the ritual sites, Illuminate summoners will actively perform a ritual, and we got to interrupt it and kill all summoners. There is actually a ghoul model in the game that will be summoned to go ahead and stop us while we're doing that to aid them in combat, and upon interrupting a ritual, a large earthquake will be felt nearby. There are 2 ritual types, default and whole. The dark fluid harvesters might also be involved. If you haven't seen it, this is the whole, I believe, right here. It's just like a big jar looking thingy, but that's going to be somewhat involved with the ritual. Now, along with that, the dark fluid harvester Iron Sights was actually put into the game. This is an Illuminate based thing. A dark fluid, if you don't know, was something that caused the explosion with the Meridia black hole, which is why everyone thinks it is so closely tied with the Illuminate. You can see the harvester in game right here. It is a pretty big object towering over the trees and rocks and foliage around with it. Now, along with that, there's going to be even more types of mission objectives coming into the game. There's going to be our goal to manually place a hive scanner in a designated location to scan an underground hive. You can see the icon right here. Interestingly enough, this is likely going to tie in with Hive Lords as a future enemy, and then possibly even the Super 3 Predators that we've been talking about on the channel a little bit. That is going to be a new Terminate enemy faction. Going back to that Super Earth thing with the intel, there is also going to be some more missions that we have on Super Earth, most likely when we elect a president. Iron Sights showed us this briefcase objective icon, which definitely to me seems like a nuclear bomb, which we know is going to be a clan stratagem in the very near future, and it is likely, he said, tied to the president's football objective. We don't know much more, but there's basically going to be a mission where we have to protect Super Earth's president's mansion against whatever force, whether it be the Illuminate Terminids or automatons, whoever actually launches an assault on, well, Super Earth. There's 4 icons you can see here. One seems to be bombing, one seems to be a bomber, one is a fast forward button. I'm not too sure about that one yet, and the other one is hexagonal, which is likely going to be a booster. That's what it looks like to me. However, once again, Asunder was able to find scripts in the game files. Now, in addition to those mission objectives we can be looking forward to now that the Illuminate are here, like I said, we only have about 4 different enemy types because it's a vanguard attack. That being said, we're going to go over the Illuminate in their full roster because there are a lot more enemy units coming. And the first one we're going to go over is the Observer, which is an Illuminate scout unit, a small levitating robot eye squid thing. In Helldivers 1, it was cloaked at all times, so you're not going to be seeing this when you're running around on the map unless it was spotted directly by players, at which point it sounded an alarm that caused other Illuminate units to teleport in before recloaking itself and running away. Iron Sights was actually able to show us what this would look like in game, and as you can see here, it is a pretty large unit and it moves around through the air, floating around. Now, the second one we're going to go over is the Ghoul, and this is a melee unit appearing as a mutated savage Illuminate who attacks with claws. Early leaks actually had this as a large monster comparable to the Hulk from the automatons, but now it seems that it's actually been changed to infantry size. It's believed it's been brought onto the battlefield by the summoner, which we will go over in a couple minutes. As you can see here, this is actually the ghoul animations right now, and it does appear that it's crawling out of a portal on the ground, which does seem to back up the fact that it is summoned by, well, the summoner. Now, the next one is going to be the adept, and this is where magic starts to come in. It's something we haven't actually seen in Helldivers 2 yet, and this is also referred to as the mage. It's an infantry unit who hovers. It has some of the same nanite mind control abilities of some of the Helldiver 1 Illuminate units, and it's unclear right now if it has any leaked projectiles, but from the image of the adept that we can see here, it does hold a book, and it is a magic based thing. It was actually pointed out by Iron Sights that it does a little finger gesture, so it does seem that it has projectiles that shoots out of its fingers at enemies, or, well, you know, us. Now, the next one is going to be the Outcast. It's a hooded infantry unit equipped with a beam gauntlet. It resembles the Helldiver 1 unit called the Hunter more than the one called the Outcast. The Hunter is a sniper unit and the Outcast was a cloaked melee unit, so we don't know exactly how this will function yet, but Iron Sights did this beautiful render right here of it with the beamer weapon, and it seems that it will also have a force field. So the sniper build does seem very realistic. Now, the next one after that is going to be the summoner, which ties into that ghoul, which it can, you know, summon. This is a caster unit that seems a step up from the adept, and it wields a gauntlet lined with crystals that levitate out of it to form a whip, or possibly shoot energy beams. And as stated earlier, it's believed to summon the ghoul units onto the battlefield. Once again, Iron Sights was actually able to show us this, and in its hands you can clearly see it does have the whip. There are some animations, and it overall seems like a Lord Sauron kind of villain. I actually like this character a lot and really can't wait to fight against these guys. They're a council member, and this is a robed Illuminate sitting on a hover chair. He was the most powerful of the caster type enemies. He's capable of teleportation, mind control, and various area of effect or ranged attacks. It is also called the Illusionist, at least in other game files, and you can see this image that Iron Sights did right here with the animations. It's interesting that they have mind control. I think that this is going to cause a lot of friendly fire situations, but it'll be interesting to see how this mechanic actually works in the game. The other one is going to be the Guy, and this is a heavily armored Illuminate infantry unit, and they have a dual wield where they can wield a staff or it can go ahead and use an axe. The staff also can be a ranged attack and is presumably one of the elite infantry units compared to a heavy devastator or brood commander. Here you can actually see it with the Illuminate axe, which is a close range melee weapon, and the Illuminate spear right here, which will shoot the projectiles afterwards. There will also be the Obelisk, and this is a heavily armored robot tank unit from Helldivers 1, and it teleports around while projecting shield walls that block your ability to move around and could insta-kill anyone caught in their path when projecting, which means that this is going to be a very powerful enemy type. We actually haven't had any models or leaks so far yet for Helldivers 2 for this, but we are able to actually look at it in Helldivers 1, and as you can see, it is a pretty round, large unit and has a number of weapons, resilience, and armor class, which is heavy. This is overall going to be the units we know of so far. That being said, this is 10 total units, which is 2 less than Helldivers 1 had with the Illuminate, and it's also smaller than the rosters of the Automatons and Terminates. Let me know down below, are you guys enjoying the Illuminate, and which of the new mission types seem really cool, and which enemy type are you a little bit wary of when they finally do release? Also, don't forget to check out this video and this video right here where I cover Helldivers 2 news on the daily, and until next time everyone, thanks for stopping by. Keep spreading managed democracy.